Hello and welcome to this session of tips for teachers about conducting online class. In this session, I'll briefly discuss about the challenges faced by the teachers for conducting the online class, and mostly I spend some time for the tips for conducting the classes online, and in the last I'll provide some references, links where you can upgrade your skill set for habituated with the new collaboration tools. Hopefully my session will be helpful for you. Happy learning. First, let's clarify about the requirement or relevant of this session, why it is required suddenly now. Current situation or scenario is really complicated. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, the whole world is right now almost standstill. Due to this lockdown, we are at home, but we have to do our job, continue our job, somewhat in different way or differently, so that impact is less. Teachers are very respected, whether it is in India or outside. We are very much fortunate. We had Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore, APJ Abdul Kalam, like teachers in our country. Teachers are always very special, as they only can say the future of the world is in my classroom today. There are some great quotes like, a teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself to light the way for others. Without teachers, life would have no class. But most of these great teachers of yesterday's and today's are associated with the conventional or traditional classroom environment. Few were definitely the exceptions, and due to this sudden change, they have to perform the same activities with the same potential within the virtual classroom. Expectation is good and quite natural, but it's not so simple. To make you understand clearly, let's discuss some examples. You are a very good cook in your family of 6. Suddenly, you got a request to cook for 200 people in 5-star hotel. Or you are a very good driver of your own car, but now you have to drive a large tanker having food and basic needs for a relief camp in a hilly area. Or you are a very good surgeon and doing multiple successful surgeries within the hospital's operation theater. Now it has been told that outside people like families of the patients and others will be watching you inside the operation theater during those operations. Or you are a good athlete at district level or state level. Now suddenly you have to perform in Olympics representing your country. So in all the cases I have described, maybe you are performing the same job but in different situations, which make the whole scenario little or more complicated. You can't perform well as you are not accustomed with the new environments, but situation will improve definitely if enough scope and time is given. And that's why this small effort of mine dedicated to my respected teachers. Who am I? This question is very, very important. Why? Yes, it is very important to understand whether I'm really eligible to preach or conduct this session to tell you the our respected teachers about how to conduct online class. I'm not at all directly related to teaching system. I'm not a teacher. I'm in the IT industry for more than 2.5 decades. Starting from mainframe days to now, cloud-enabled real-time technologies, I have worked in different countries, directly dealing with the people of diversified culture, languages. I treated myself as a helper and contributor first, and anything else next. I have two kids at my home. They are students. At the workplace, I am interacting with the seniors and juniors within and outside of my department, sharing the knowledge and experience. I am certainly learning something new every day. It may be from my kids or the family members at home or from my colleagues at my workplace. On that perspective, I thought of creating this to help our respected teachers. Although I am not a teacher, apart from my schooling and college days, I was and also right now always surrounded by some teachers. My grandfather, my mother, my wife belongs to teaching profession. So although I'm not a teacher, but somehow able to feel, sense your current urgencies, feelings, and that's why this presentation and hopefully my session will be beneficial for you. Now let's discuss about what's so challenging for teachers about conducting online class for the students, especially for the kids. Everybody should understand the differences between having classes in a traditional and educational environment and having them online. First is absence of physical presence, not able to observing or understand the students closely. You won't be able to look over a student's shoulder as they read or write. Teachers, you won't be able to jump through their computer screens to check what they are doing. You may or may not be able to restrict them from chatting during the class or obstructing them to doing something else. Naturally, it will be harder to control or discipline them. You can't see them. Yes, most of, if you are having 40 students, you can't see them, but every student can watch you. Maybe some parents along with the kids also watching you at the same time. And lastly, not able to or very difficult to use physical objects like blackboard, charts, maps, laboratory objects, etc. So till those years, you are habituated with all those, and now suddenly props, learning methods are largely unavailable to you as an educator. Again, all the teachers are not from the same age group. Some of you teaching for decades, some for years, and some of you joined recently in this teaching journey, maybe just now. So, depending upon your age, depending upon your exposure about technology, the new devices, online media, comfort level can vary. Actually, now you are also students. You have to habituated with the associated technologies, devices as soon as possible to deliver your class in a better way. As we all know, so must go on, and others can extend the help to you, but you, the teachers, have to conduct the show. Most online class should be between 25 to around 40-45 minute session, not more than that. So you have to make this time frame to make an impression, to create an impression, an interesting and interactive session, and of course be memorable one. The key of success in online teaching is student engagement. Yes, let's jump to the main portion. It will be a lengthy one, so I would request all the teachers to listen carefully and adapt accordingly as per your situation. So I provided all the tips into category divided into 4. Let's start with the first. Be always professional. Show up like a professional. For most of the kids, teachers are role model. So you should be dressed properly, preferably in normal classroom attire. You should also show up promptly to class, maintaining professional decorum at all the times. Be pleasant and gentle smile in your face throughout the class. Yes, you should try this. And you should be very careful about your facial expressions and mannerism during the class. Effectively use your voice and gestures. Always remember, each class may be recorded, and therefore there are students and might some parents also be watching closely during your class, and later on your school authority or institution also will be watching you. Keep in your mind that you are performing at your job. Always maintain a soft but audible voice. Use voice modulation to keep the class interesting. Use body language and gestures with your hands to help establish or explain your points. But mind you, it should be visible to all the students. Listening is important, very, very important, and nod your head when your student is speaking. Now we should come back to one of the important topic, prepare your classroom. Even though you are teaching online, it is very, very important to remember that you are on the job right now, so you have to maintain certain standards. Make sure you have proper lighting in the room from where you will be taking the class. You need to check the extra reflection on your laptop screen due to outside sunlight or from the room lighting itself. If you are using external camera other than the laptop webcam, make sure the camera is positioned properly. You should choose your room wisely. There should be no or minimal movement of other family members in your house. Also check that if you can close the door of your room to avoid unnecessary noise coming from outside. Keep a tidy background. Even you can use the customized background from whatever the collaboration tool you are using, and that may be Microsoft Teams, Zoom, etc. Please check internet connection is proper and Wi-Fi is working perfectly. If you are not wired directly, check your laptop fully charged or already connected to the power supply. Camera, laptop speaker, audio in, audio out, working as usual. You should not be very close or far away from the laptop. Students should always be in a comfortable feeling, almost like talking face to face with you. I'd recommend during the whole class, you shouldn't move your laptop here and there to explain something. In that case, something you need to adjust the screen, and that may lead to unnecessary time waste, and students also may lose concentration. Also, before starting the class, all the necessary things should be in front of you. You can reach out to those just spreading your hands only. What are those things are necessary? Apart from the laptop, textbook, notebook, pen, pencil, props, and whiteboard markers if you want to use those. I want to highlight cons of usage whiteboard during your class. First, you are alone in your room to manage all. Whiteboard placement is important. Proper camera should be focused, should be clearly visible to all the students, and again you have to have moved back to your original position after finishing your work with the whiteboard. Again, proper marker usage is another thing which should be visible to all the students. Also, there can be a reflection or refraction issue with the whiteboard surface, camera lens, lights available in the room itself. So be cautious on this. By the way, never forget two essential things. Keep your mobile at silent mode, preferably at distance place on the desk itself. Sometimes you may require on emergency, and it is always a good idea of keeping a glass of drinking water at your desk. Now come to the most important thing. Chalk out short or detailed plan for your class and prepare before each class, arranging the props for the activities. If you are not familiar with all the students, because you can say sessions is starting now, better to spend 1 or 2 minutes to introduce yourself first. Later on, some other classes, you ask students to introduce themselves, but not to do in your first class. It will be too much friendly to start with. Plan accordingly, like by grouping the student name in alphabetical order, and schedule this as a homework or activity. Please prepare 5 sentences about yourself for your introduction. All the students whose name starts with A to D, they will perform in my class on coming Tuesday, just like that. Also, set some rules and regulations of the online class of your for your students. For example, ask students to join the class in time. always equipped with the relevant textbook and notebook along with the pen, pencil, eraser, etc. Not to interfere within the main teaching time slots, say 15 to 20 minutes. I will explain it later. In case of doubt, jot down in notebook or write in chat if chat is enabled. All the doubts will be cleared or discussed during Q&A slot after the main teaching time slot. Response properly to the classwork and so on. You know what you are going to teach in your class. So please cover little background of it. Use some examples to bring the right context of your main topic. Be focused on the topic and steer your class in the right direction. Use activities and props appropriately to make the class more interesting. But again, you must be very careful about your time management. Better to open and keep your necessary Word, Excel, PowerPoint files or audio video files in minimized mode. Those should be available on your taskbar so that you should not waste time by searching, typing, opening those during your ongoing online class. If you want to use online books, sites, YouTube, etc., please bookmark those in your web browser. Check those earlier that they are perfectly functioning on the respective browser, what you will be using during the class. If online textbook you are using during the class, if possible, download it in advance. Follow the proper curriculum and online books. As you are working on internet, so internet has everything, so it is very easy to divert from the main topic very easily. Not everybody will conduct their classes from the touch screen enabled devices, iPad, etc. And if you are not comfortable on online drawing, then better to avoid whiteboard in Microsoft Teams or so. On those cases, I request you to use PowerPoint, Word for drawing and text, even Notepad for text instead of whiteboard. And remember, using Word, PowerPoint have another very huge plus point. Hindi, Sanskrit, like non-English language teachers can use their supported fonts while teaching. Those most of are missing right now as on today in your whiteboard feature of those collaboration tools. Please familiar with how to zoom the window screen and or how to increase the fonts what you are displaying for better visibility. If you are responsible to take the recording of your online class, then start and stop recording of your class in appropriate time. Also remember to take the attendance of the students. There are some automatic way to capture in some tools. Otherwise, use the screenshots of meeting attendee. Give feedback. Always incorporate ways to improve in between positive sentences, offering the students praise for the classwork or during Q&A. Also check about all the subtasks and its timing while planning. For example, if your class is of 40 minutes, then maximum 2 minutes waiting for the students to join in the meeting, start your introduction, casual talk, etc. Next, maximum 5 minutes discussion about your last class. Next, maximum 22 minutes main teaching time slot including classwork. Next 7 minutes question and answer session or doubt clearance session, and the next max 2 minutes homework discussion and message for the next class. So if you total, you have still 2 minutes in your hand. Now within 22 minutes of main teaching time slot can be further divided into maximum 8 minutes first part, and then maximum 3 minutes classwork on the first part, and again next 8 minutes maximum for the second part teaching, and the last 3 minutes maximum for the classwork on the second part or the first part jointly. So this will, you can say, create some kind of interesting way to interacting with the students. Next, let's discuss about the problem areas. Try to have a backup plan always. We are not living in the ideal world, and we are banking on technology. So definitely something might happen. So yes, I am talking about the real life scenario. When you are conducting online class, some awkward incident may happen. That may be a power outage, an internet issue, a technical glitch like audio or video is not working, an online resource like online textbook is not loading, or even very personal, a family emergency of yourself. So it is good to have a backup plan always. In those cases, don't be panic. Everybody have a fair idea that you are not the full control of an online class like traditional physical classroom. So you are dependent on so many other external factors and situations. So I hope all the others can understand that. By chat or email, you notify the school authority or in your institution about the issue and ask for an alternative class. Notify the students accordingly. And let's come to the last part, work, which is behind of your each class. If you are taking the class, your job is not over when the class ends. If you don't have mechanism to control the students attendee as an attendee, then always encourage the students to join the classes with their real name, so that you don't have any problem for noticing the performance of all the students in right manner. Note down the students' details who are not responding during the class work. Document everything. If there is a glitch on a website that you need for your lesson, take a screenshot of it. If a student is late for the class or a no-show, be sure to record that in case that information is needed later on. In some cases, it automatically recorded. Check the class recording is proper or not, because it can trigger you to improve further. You can enhance what are the, you can say, drawback or errors you have done in your last class. And like your student, do practice and definitely you will be the perfect for conducting online class. In this reference section, I have provided some links. I have selected only 4 most heavily used environment for conducting virtual classes. Provided the link from the product companies itself, as they know their product best. And I listed video enabled links here so that you can have some look and feel experience. First tool is called Microsoft Teams, a collaboration tool from Microsoft. Second one is Google Meet, a product from Google. Third tool is Zoom, and the fourth one is from Cisco WebEx. All the tools have almost similar features, but usage have some different way to handle all those features, some pros and cons. Please go through these links to learn more, probably multiple times. And I am sure about my talented teachers that you will be experts for using those collaboration tools in no time. My session comes to an end. I have covered most of the things which came into my mind. If I missed something, please comment in the comment section and I'll try to address those. I'm 100% sure that all the teachers are passionate of their job and will give their best to adapt this new skill set to serve our community far better way. If you like this session, subscribe my channel and provide feedback, as I have some more plans of similar sessions for students and others. We'll upload the same when those are ready. Till then, goodbye, and we will learn together in this journey and definitely overcome all the hurdles. Keep smiling.